Kaine's staff got in touch with me earlier this week to make sure I was aware a vote was anticipated on Wednesday night on the senator's bill to repeal the dumb Trump tariffs, which I appreciated getting that heads up. Really helpful. I'm mystified now, though, that the vote resulted in a 49-49 tie, with Vice President JD Vance casting the tie-breaking vote to effectively kill it, putting the kibosh on the legislation, which was only really going to be symbolic anyway, since we can't presume that the MAGA-majority U.S. House would even take it up, much less vote to advance to get it vetoed by the guy responsible for the dumb tariffs in the first place. Now, question, do Senate Democrats not still count votes there in the Senate before they bring up bills for a vote? And then a related question, how do they not know that two people who would have voted with them to get the symbolic bill at least passed, Sheldon Whitehouse, a Democrat, and Mitch McConnell, a Republican who supports the measure, will be on the floor to be able to vote? Now, we got something of an answer to this. Virginia's other Democrat in the Senate, Mark Warner, addressed the vote counting failure in a media call on Thursday. He said it was, quote, unfortunate that two senators were not present yesterday, suggesting that, I guess that's suggesting that they didn't know that White House was in South Korea for a climate conference. That, we don't know why McConnell wasn't there, but it was known that Sheldon and White House was in South Korea for a climate conference. Okay. Warner said on the media call that Democrats are going to try to find a way to bring this back up on the floor of the Senate. Good luck with that. Because you know that John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, had his people in charge of vote counting telling him how things were going to play out last night, which is why he agreed to schedule the vote in the first place. He knew he wasn't going to lose. All right, so it really feels to me that the idea all along here from Senate Democrats was to bring the bill to the floor for a vote, knowing they weren't going to get it to pass, so that they could claim we tried. In the interest of trying to be fair to the D's, here's a quote from Kaine's remarks during a floor debate on the bill from earlier in the day on Wednesday. Here's the quote. We must turn this around, and the good news is the Senate has the ability to turn it around. All the economic trends are pointing in the same direction. We should try a different path on the economy before it gets worse. The vote we will have later today gives the Senate, the greatest deliberative body in the world, the chance to stand up and say, let's take a different path. On that, I'm there with you, Senator Kaine. And I want to say here, at least you were doing something, even if what you were doing was just going through the motions, which is kind of what it feels like. I've devoted thousands of words over the past 3 months to how Kaine and Warner haven't been doing much of anything aside from talking, and how we need them to do more to stand up to the onslaught of Team Trump. Even just going through the motions is something. Even if it had no chance of getting past Mike Johnson to the president's desk or getting two-thirds in the House and Senate to override the veto that would come if it somehow did get to Trump, it's better to do something shambolic like this than it was for our guys Kaine and Warner to vote to confirm Trump's election-denying pick to be ambassador to China, as was the case when David Perdue came up for a vote this week. I still want to hope this tariffs bill was a sincere effort, but I've got questions.